Hey guys, what is good? You're welcome to today's FX market overview. Today's 25th February 2024. All right, so first and foremost, before we do anything, I want to give a special shout out to my niece. Today is her birthday. She's 7 years today. I wish you long life and prosperity. I wish you the very best in life. And yeah, many, many more years of happiness and joy. So happy birthday, niece. Okay, guys, so let us proceed to what we have for today. FX market overview for today. All right, so quickly to the upper right of my screen, we have this asset, right? So it's the same thing from last week or what I talked about last week. So more candles are printed, prices moved. So we're just going to look at the ones that haven't gotten to target yet. And it's still going to be on the radar because, that's not gotten to target yet. So therefore, there's still going to be a potential trade idea for us to get in, right? So we're going to be looking at the dollar index, Euro, USD, the British pound as a cable, AU to JPY, Euro, GBP, NZD card, Euro, NZD, AU to CHF, Bitcoin, Euro, JPY, and Kato. So Kato is actually new. Euro JPY and Kato is actually new, right? So I've been looking at Kato for a while now since I can't trade Kato on my personal account. So like I said, everything you learn here, as long as they have candles, as long as the chart has candles, you can actually trade them. That's it. So learning smart money concept from me, learning how the market works with the little knowledge I have, I can use it to trade anything that has candles, right? So I've been looking at cartoon for a while, and I'm like, okay, I think maybe it's time to start, put it and then trade it, right? So we're going to talk about that last. Okay, so let us proceed to what we have for today. So dollar index price on the February is almost over, guys. I think we have a couple of days, and then February is going to be over. How many days? I think we have about, yeah. So we have 4 more days. Okay, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The 4 days, and then Friday, 1st of March. That's the first Friday in every month. I think we're gonna have the NFP or FOMC. I think so. Quickly, let's check the Forex factory calendar. Okay, so just check. I know on Friday is a major news. I think it's NFP or FOMC. Friday first. US, we should have USD major news. Oh no, that's new. Okay, this is on Monday is 26, right? So on Monday 26, there's no major news. On Tuesday we have um major news by 4 p.m. That's CB consumer confidence. Wednesday, guys, you can see we've been having CPI news for different currencies. Last week CPI was on card, and then I'm going to show you NZD card and look at what NZD card actually did. Right. So we had card CPI consumer price index, and a week before that we had CPI for the dollar index. So we had dollar CPI, then card CPI. Now we're having AUD CPI. CPI moves price. I mean, among CPI, between CPI, FOMC, and NFP, I like to look at CPI the most, right? So on Wednesday, 1:30 a.m., we have AUD CPI, and I think we have quite a number. I think we have pairs that are AUD related, right? I think one and then two. So we have two pairs that are AUD related. So on Wednesday, we can see the big move, and then 2 a.m. in the morning, we have NZD major news also. And then on Thursday, we have CAD, we have Euro. And then on Friday, I think first Friday, or is it first Friday now or last Friday? I think it's first Friday. We usually have one major news. I can't remember. I'm not saying it here. So let me check. Yeah, so that's it. These are the major news we have for this week. So my main focus is going to be definitely is going to be AUD CPI news, just like that for CAD. So these are the major news we have. AD major news on Wednesday, CPI, NZD, Euro, USD, and then we have USD also, and then USD again on Friday, right? So keep an eye on that. Okay, so back to the charts. Dollar index, like I said, February is almost over, and dollar index is actually responding to our analysis we made at the beginning of the year, right? We wanted to see price come into the imbalance, and we could see how January price was approaching that imbalance, and then we entered February, and then price further went into the imbalance. I called out the I called out this during this weekly outlook. You can check the previous recording. I said dollar index is going to get to the imbalance and actually got there, and we went down to daily time frame. We were able to catch an opportunity to, we were able to see that what we anticipated or what I anticipated actually played out, right? So we called out for a sell on EU because of the dollar index internal liquidity to the upside, and that gave us a very beautiful uh, trade opportunity. So now dollar index is now inside the imbalance, and like I said, based on the present structure, it should go down, right? Based on what we've seen here, giving us this lower low, lower high, and then a lower low. That's what should happen based on market structure. Okay, but the dollar index is not going to do so, then we will know the candles are going to give us that signal, right? So scaling down to the daily time frame, you guys remember this, right? We called out a buy from here. Price was going to take out this internal liquidity, and we were anticipating that it's going to further go into the imbalance. I told you, even after price took out this liquidity, came into the imbalance because of the liquidity we had on all those other assets I talked about. I said that the dollar index will still go further into the imbalance, and that was what happened. And now it rejected and beautifully has broken the daily structure now. So now we're having a daily breaker structure inside the point of interest. That's cool, right? And remember, we have this liquidity here. We also have this liquidity here. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a game of liquidity. It's a game of they take price from one liquidity to another, one liquidity to another. Right. So are they going to start aiming for this liquidity here? They're going to start aiming for this one. I mean, it's going to be amazing, right? So we had a breaker structure, and there was even an opportunity that price gave, but I wasn't focused on EU. If you guys remember in the last weekly analysis, I said there was no bias for me. Like there was no area I'm looking to buy or sell EU. I just wanted to stay out because EU has taken out the main liquidity. But then as the week unfolds, I actually saw that there was actually a very nice opportunity that the dollar index gave on the 1 hour time frame, right? In 1 hour time frame, you can see when price was coming all the way to the downside in this area, give us a slow, lower high, and then give us a slow, and then you can see how they went into the imbalance, and then price just dropped from there. Now, if we check the EU, for example, I could check. Let's go to EU, Euro USD. There was that opportunity also. So this was the trade I took the sell to the downside, swept the liquidity. Very beautiful trade for me. And I think I discussed it last week during the weekly outlook, right? And then on 1 hour, consider rejection, just like we had it for dollar index to the downside, came into this imbalance, and then price just dumped, right? We also have that opportunity on EU and see price came into the imbalance, and then we had what the move to the upside. So I didn't take this. I wasn't even looking at EU because the main liquidity for me was captured. So I took a sell and just allowed market to reset. Right. But then this was a really beautiful trade opportunity. Yeah. Right. So now back to dollar index. What should we be anticipating now that we price has broken structure to the downside? Now we have a daily structure shift, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, and now price has broken structure to the downside. And then on Thursday we had a really big move to the downside. Then ended up as a big week, and then Friday was just little price movement. The body is little, right? So we've broken structure to the downside now. What we should be anticipating now is maybe lower high, and then price can start to run lower, right? But then going to the weekly time frame, can see that the weekly time frame is in fact still bullish, right? The weekly is bullish, higher high, higher low, and this is on its way to giving us a higher high on the weekly time frame. So I'm just open, to see what's going to happen, right? Because weekly is bullish, monthly is bearish. We can see weekly bullish, monthly bearish, daily now has given us a structure shift to the downside, this present range we're looking at. So I'm just going to be looking at price, looking at dollar index, what is most likely going to happen, but in relation with other pairs. And then for EU now, EU looks like it's going to go up. Why? Because there's this internal liquidity here. Maybe you want to aim for this liquidity. And if that's going to happen, that means dollar index is going to go down the more, maybe come and sweep this dynamic liquidity in this area and then this one. So like I said, if the move is if the institutions rather want to start going for the liquidity, then these lows are going to be a target for us. And then EU also, as you can see, is broken structure to the upside, and then most likely can continue to go up because now we have this liquidity here that has formed now that might be calling for higher pricing for EU, right? And then yeah, so let's check GBP USD also. So for GBP USD, I remember saying that I wanted GBP USD to sell down, right? We wanted GBP USD to sell down from this imbalance. There was actually a 5-minute beautiful entry, right? I think Moses sent it to me, right? He said, because we were having a call, we were discussing the charts, and then that was before immediately EU got to the imbalance, the demand supply area. I think we were live on, we're discussing, right? And then after the call, told me GU playing out perfectly, right? So for GU, uh, like I said, you remember that I wanted price to give us the rejection from this imbalance. I hope you guys remember that. That's what I said. From this imbalance is where I want to see. Is it the imbalance? Yeah, the imbalance on the 1 hour time frame. I remember. Yes. So like I said, 1 hour time frame. I wanted to see price sell down from there. And when price got to this area, I remember I was having a call with Moses, on a live Zoom call, we're discussing. And then I said, you can keep an eye, most likely it's going to go down from there. Right. But then it went all the way up. And in this area, we had a 5 minutes, very, very beautiful play on the 5 minutes. I didn't take it, but there was an amazing trade. I was in already on another trade. Right. So on the 5 minute, look at what happened. I mean, classic structure shifts kind of play, right? We had what? Higher high, higher low, higher high, and then what? At break structure. And this was the entry Moses was talking about. This exactly. So we had this very beautiful play under 5 minutes, which if I was on the screen, I would have definitely added to my winning trades, right? So entry here, that's about a 10 pip stop loss. That's 80, and then we can put the stop loss to, let's put the stop loss to 11. Right. So this was a very beautiful trade, and this gave, as you can see, this gave like a 1 to 5. So exactly, take profit at 1 to 3, close partials and all of that, or you close everything. Right. So it was a very, very beautiful trade, but it didn't give us the overall target we were anticipating, right? We wanted GU to go down more. Okay, we're not just looking at the small move. We wanted a very big move, but then that didn't happen, or has not happened yet, right? As you can see now, GU is still bearish based on the structure, but now it has further gone into the premium areas. And while we were discussing, I said there are two imbalances we can look at. The first one I marked out, and there is this bigger one in this area also. You guys can see this bigger one here, this bigger imbalance. And if I go to maybe 2 hours time frame, you can see the imbalance very well, right? Exactly. And this lines up with the structure level. And another thing that just came to my attention now is that if we measure from the swing high down to the swing low here, and we extend to the front, those of you that know about what we call the Gartley harmonic pattern, that is, price jetting from the X, yeah, and then give us the A, yeah, and then we have the 618 rejection, yeah, and then price comes down here, and then Gartley harmonic pattern states that, sorry, let me change this color. The blue is okay, background is supposed to be yellow. Yeah, let's change this lines. Uh, yeah, that's how it is. 10, yeah, so this is it. Okay, so the Gartley harmonic pattern states that we have X, A, B at 618, rejection of C, anywhere between 38 and 886. Then D is going to give us a 786 rejection. So this is a Gartley harmonic pattern calling for a sell on GBP USD on the 2 hours, 1 hour, 4 hour time frame, right? So we already, from a smart money standpoint, are looking to take a sell already on GBP USD. Why? Because structure is bearish, and we are aiming for the sweep of the liquidity down here, right? But then we also have other confluences. But now price has gone above the first area. We're now looking at the second point of interest, right? So if GU is going to come down, then we're anticipating that dollar index is going to go up, right? I mean, that's how it should be, but I don't like to correlate GU and dollar index together. I just like DXY and Euro USD. But for EU now, EU is looking like it wants to go up because of the liquidity. And if EU goes up because of the liquidity, dollar index is going to further go down to take out the liquidity to the downside. And then GU now most likely will go up. So are you seeing the correlations between it now? And as a matter of fact, we also have liquidity to the upside here on GU. So you see now, even outside this one down here, there is also a daily liquidity in this area here. So I like to be open with all my options, right? I like to be open. I like to interpret what the market is, the signal the market is giving to me. Okay, I'm not going to be so adamant and stubborn and it has to sell by force. By force, it has to sell, and I'm only looking for sells. Yes, I have a bias for a sell, but if the market is showing me something else consistently that I'm not going down yet, then and I see reasons to why the market doesn't want to go down yet, it's okay for me to change my bias, right? I don't hold it to anybody. It's me and my trade, right? So if the everything is pointing towards GU going up, then I would just change my bias. Like, remember, you guys remember dollar index? I said it was going to sell. Then I saw, okay, it looks like it's changing. It wants to go up. And we were right to predict that the dollar index is going to go up. And then it went up, and we can see how we made profit on the sell on EU because we were not so, or I wasn't so stubborn. Why am I saying we? I wasn't so stubborn. I had to change my bias immediately. I said, okay, the dollar now looks like wants to go up. So if EU now wants to go up because of the liquidity to the upside and the breaker structure, but then there's going to be a moment of retest and go up and all of that, right? And then dollar index is looking like it wants to come down. Then GU also is in between now, right? We have a sell bias and we have a buy bias. So EU is in between. EU is at premium. If it wants to go further up, it has reasons for it going up. If you want to take out this liquidity and maybe start to come down, right? So, just so for GU now, what I'm saying is that there's liquidity to the upside, there's liquidity to the downside, price is in between. So I'm going to wait for more candles to print. I'm going to wait for more informations. And then I'm going to make a decision based on the added informations that is coming from the candles printing, right? Because that's how we get the information. That's how I get my information. I look at the candles, allow them to print, and then make my decision based on what is happening, because the candle is a representation of what these big institutions and big players in the market are doing, right? We don't have access to them directly, but we can see what they are doing on the charts. And because I've been trading for years, so I understand some things when I see it, because this is not the first time or the second time or the third time or the 10th time it's happening, right? And that's it. That's technical analysis, right? I was having a private session with a student, and we were talking about technical analysis. And I said, it's a study of the past to predict what is going to happen in the future. And then she said, but the future is always changing. I said, yes, I agree to that. But again, there is nothing new, right? All that is coming up is just going to be innovations. There's just going to be a new way of doing it, a better way of doing it. It's not going to be new, right? So I don't know if I'm right with that. If you do not agree with me, but she kept saying, no, I do not agree with you. Like, all right, fine. I mean, we are entitled to different opinions. All right. So for trading, technical analysis, what has happened in the past, we use it to predict what's going to happen in the future. Right? And I've seen this happen so many times. Just like what happened in GBP, Euro GBP. I told you guys exactly what was going to happen with Euro GBP in the last recording. Right? Exactly what was going to happen with Euro GBP. This is what I said. We even have this equal highs in this area. So for Euro GBP, we have the overall liquidity we are looking at price getting to, but then we also have an internal liquidity in this area here. So Euro GBP could potentially buy up, strip the liquidity, and come down. So you can see that's what I said, and exactly that was what happened. Price came up, swept the liquidity, and then came down. Yeah, so we're going to get there for Euro GBP. All right, so for GBP USD, just still neutral. So stay neutral for now. Let's see where price is going to go to, and then we're gonna have our entry on that. Right, so that's it. Then for AUD JPY, AUD JPY, amazing, amazing, amazing trade, right? Amazing trade. I mean, most of the trades, the two trades I took this week were trades I wasn't on the system. I had to use my phone quickly to look at them, the West price, and then just execute. For AUD JPY, I told you because of these equal highs, we should be anticipating AUD JPY going to the upside to sweep this liquidity. That's what I said. And then going to the daily time frame, I told you that AUD JPY will go up, and I gave you the correlation with what happened with CAD JPY when we called it out last week during the weekly analysis. I showed you CAD JPY and what I said was going to happen and how it played out. Now, AUD JPY, perfectly same thing. I was able to catch a very nice opportunity. I told you it wasn't going to come down. So since I know the directional bias, I know the order flow, I was just going to look for the entries and then join the trade. Right. So on a 1 hour time frame, this was what I saw. I mean, first, this is the markup for AUD JPY. Look at it, AUD JPY, February 19, 2024. Right, this is it, 1 hour time frame. And this was my entry, had 100 level, 00 level, and it was about how many peep stop? I think yeah, just 11 peep stops, and I was able to take price all the way to the upside. So what did I notice? Price was bullish, and we had a bullish range already presently, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and it was to go up. I knew the order flow was to the upside, right? So what I did was I saw the imbalance in price. Price was so close to it. Like I said, I was on my phone, so I just had to just check it. Oh, it's almost there. Quickly, I had to do my lot size calculation, do the everything, but what's the lot size to use, and quickly I had to just place the trade on my MetaTrader, right? And this was it. And the trade got activated. As you can see, got activated, came down. Spent many hours here, and I actually did something on this trade because when it was down here. And then I was like, I don't want to get stopped out on this trade. So what I did was when it was down here, I now had to adjust my stop loss again to like 20 pips. But then I thought to myself, I've already calculated the risk on this trade. I mean, I've been trading for years, and there's a point where you get to and just feel like I've been trading for years, and I'm a very good risk manager. But then sometimes shit like this just happens. You understand? Like, and then I put the stop loss to 20 pip. I knew already the loss if this eats my SL, I'm gonna lose more money. So when this happened, I put it here and I saw it started going back up again. Like, you know what? Let me just return it back to where it was. And then it came back up again and then it came back down. Yeah. And then when it came back down here, just like, well, whatever happens. I've agreed to the risk. I knew this was going to happen. There was a probability that this trade wasn't going to go my way in the first place, right? I mean, it's always there. I'm always thinking in terms of probability. So I don't even think about the positive side because the positive side is always going to end up being positive and we're going to be happy about it. So when I go in on a trade, I'm thinking about the loss. How do I mitigate it? Is the loss I'm looking at not even the profit? The profit will end up coming if it comes, and it's going to be a happy day, right? So when it came back down here, I was like, you know what? Just let me just leave it. I mean, I'm going to agree. I've agreed with myself that this is the amount I'm risking. So fine, so be it. Understand? If you hit the stop loss, fine. I'm not going to adjust and then take a very big loss. So, I mean, if it comes down here, there's every tendency it could just come down here also. So why not just take the loss if agreed? And because 20 pip is close to doubling already the loss. Because 11 pip, if I put the pip at 22, that's going to be double my risk. So 20 pip is close to doubling the risk already. But like, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. So I just left it there. Fine, so be it. And then I saw price started to reject. Came up, came down, started to play. Trading, it's gonna play with you, come up, down, up, down. Fine, whatever happens. And then boom, just started to go up. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. And then it came all the way up here because I had my final TP had 1 to 5.23. I just wanted to take full profit on this, right? And then the weekly liquidity up here, and then price came all the way up, came down, and then went all the way back to the upside again. Now, when it was coming down, I already knew and I drew something like this. Like, okay, fine, this is it. Okay. is it going to break this support and resistance? But this was a resistance that turned support. So when it came down, I was looking at this like, okay, fine, what's going to happen? And then came there, started to eject back up again, came up, came down, and then just over. I just knew it was going to go up. Like it would not come straight. You know, there are times we get in on trades straight to TP. Sometimes it plays with us. I mean, I've seen this a lot of time. Okay, that's happened so many times. So I'm not moved, right? I'm not moved. And then the trade went all the way up. You can see 105 and still went further ahead. So this was my AUD trade. Really, really amazing trade. So now what am I anticipating for AUD Presently now, nothing. Okay, liquidity has been swept. So if it's going to get to 100, fine, but I'm not seeing any opportunity now to make it still be on my radar. So for AUD we analyzed it last week. It has gotten to targets, trade idea complete. So I'm going to take it off the radar. Now the next one is Euro GBP. Euro GBP, amazing, amazing trade. I told you guys what was going to happen. I said, I've seen this happen with Euro GBP, not once, not twice. I showed you here, right? The move was supposed to come down, but they went up, took the liquidity. Immediately, they took that liquidity. Price started to drop hard. I showed you guys. Same thing that happened. Same thing, guys. Took the liquidity, dumped. And I knew already. So when I saw the liquidity swept, the price took out the liquidity immediately. I just, okay, this is it. And then I just went straight to the 1 hour time frame, waited for the break of structure. See, I waited for the break of structure, really important. And then boom, that was my entry to go down. So this one is still a work in progress because price has not got into TP yet. As you can see, I waited for the break, had my entry at the 50 level, stopped at the high, and then I was aiming for 1 to 3. As you can see, boom, got activated here, but once again, it didn't go straight down. Came up, profit, loss, profit, loss, profit, loss, profit, loss, finally profit. So it's so close now, and this is where we are. So it's not even at 1 to 3 yet. All right. And I was looking at the 2 hour time frame. I think I saw this imbalance here. So I would really appreciate if this can just go down from here. All right. I already have my stop. I've protected some capital already, some profit rather, but then I don't want it to go back up and just stick. It's taking out the security, taking out the liquidity. I want it to further come down. So for GBP, Euro GBP, it is still going to further go down, right? Maybe at this imbalance where it is, or maybe the institutions might want to run take out this internal liquidity, come into this imbalance here, and then give us the further move to the downside. So you could still get an opportunity to join me on the sell, maybe at this imbalance here, right? But then I'm in already. Really, really amazing trade. Very, very good, right? I would love it if you could just gap down and just, really cool, right? Yeah, so that's it for Euro GBP. I'm still looking at price coming all the way to the downside. And then for NZD card has been going up. Like we've been on this asset for over a month now. Right. If you're just watching this recording for the first time, check the previous recording, the last one, the last two, the last three, the last four. We've been following NZD card for a while now. It came into this imbalance. We said it was going to sweep the liquidity, it was going to reject from the imbalance. After the break of structure, we're going to look for entries. I mean, it's just really amazing what we're saying is just happening. Right. And now it is up here. We're so close to the daily liquidity up now, and price has also given us another one here. So for NZD card, I'm still believing it is going to go up, right? CP high moved price, and I couldn't get an entry for CP high. Card CP high, right? Moved price all the way to the upside. I think it was a weak data. The data that came out wasn't in favor of the card, so card dropped. And NZD card just went all the way to the upside, right? So on a 4 hour time frame, what are we seeing? This should have actually been a very good entry. Came into the imbalance and went up. So on 4 hours now, not seeing anything. I'm just so pained because I've not really seen an entry on NZD card. Right, since this entry we've missed down here, I've not been able to catch an entry. Sometimes maybe because I'm focused on something else, probably because I'm not just, I look at it and I set limit and price doesn't get there and all of that. So now this is where we are now. So I'm not seeing any entry yet again, except for this one, but I don't know if it's gonna get there. Let's say the 2 hour time frame. Okay, no, 1 hour time frame. Let me check the 15 minutes, 35, 40, the 1 hour. It's not even visible there, except the 1 hour time frame. You only have this imbalance here, and price has even showed it. You know what? So once again, I'm just gonna wait. There's no trade entry, but I know the directional bias to the upside, and I know one thing for sure. I'm gonna get an entry before we take out this one or this one. I'm gonna make sure I get an entry. All right. So for NZD card, I'm still bullish on this. Keep an eye, guys, for NZD card. Euro NZD. Euro NZD is going to the downside because NZD is going to the upside. So that's it. So it has taken out this first one, and we still have this bigger one also. So keep an eye on Euro NZD. It is still most likely going to take out this low. Right. As long as NZD is going up, NZD card is going up, Euro NZD will be coming down. Right. I'm not saying they're correlating assets, but I'm just based on what I'm saying and based on NZD being on the base, being the base on NZD card and Euro NZD being the quote currency. So that's why I'm saying I'm not saying they're inversely correlated or something. All right, so Euro NZD also is going to go to the downside. I'm not seeing any entry at the moment. I'm seeing the stability here. So entries will be on the lower time frame, definitely. Right. And for those of you that are watching this recording, but you find it hard to really get entries, you find it hard to, I've called the directional bias for you, but you find it hard to do it yourself, to look for those entries, getting on those trade. I want you to what? Be patient. Okay, this course, the Forex trading for beginners course that I'm dropping every week, at the end of the training, just go back and watch the weekly outlook again. It's going to click. You're going to see everything. Oh, this is what this guy is saying. This is what he has been trying to say. Okay, this is how he gets his entries on lower time frame. Right? Use the bigger time frame to establish the directional bias and order flow. Lower time frame to get our entries. Right? Don't worry, it's going to click. Just keep following the weekly outlook. It's really amazing. And one thing I want you to do is invite as many people as possible to watch the outlook, the Forex trading for beginners course, right? We are presently at part 6 this week. Next week, come Wednesday, it's coming Wednesday, I'm going to drop the 6B, right? That's the second part of it. That one talks about everything you need to know about leverage, everything you need to know about Forex leverage. Okay, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know. Really, really amazing and amazing video, right? You're going to learn a lot from it. So for Euro NZD, price going to the downside. And then for AED daily time frame. So AED I said, well, I want to see price sell from there because of this imbalance and 4 hours. What do we have? So its price is there now, and I didn't even check this till now. But now I can see give us this high, low, high, and then a broke structure. So if you are taking a sell from here, maybe on lower time frame, I don't know if that would have been an entry, but it didn't go far and went back up again. So as you can see, the imbalance is still all the way up here. So I'm just going to be monitoring what's going to happen to AD Chef. All right. And then for Bitcoin, nothing yet also. So this is just on my radar. And then for Euro JPY. So I just added this to the radar now because I'm also seeing the daily liquidity to the upside. Now look at how we've been following this JPY pairs. The first one I called out for you was CAD JPY, played out well. Then I called out AUD JPY, also played out well. Now CAD JPY is taking out the liquidity, AUD JPY is taking out the liquidity, Euro JPY is left. So because of the liquidity, I'm also going to be bullish on this. Once again, I'm not seeing any entry. So I'm going to go into lower time frame when the week starts to unfold and see if I can be a part of this, right? And then, so for Euro JPY, I'm bullish because of this liquidity. Structure is also looking bullish, as you can see. So, yeah. And then last on the list is going to be Kato. So for Kato, I saw something really amazing right? On a weekly time frame, look at this, price just dropped, came into this imbalance, and then just started to go up from there, right? So we have this equal highs in this area. So for Pepperstone traders, you can actually trade this on your Pepperstone account. I think the risk tolerance is quite okay, right? So even if you have small amount of money, I think you should be able to just trade it, right? Although it has given us the entry already, higher high, higher low, higher high, came into the imbalance, and now price is going up. So I think it's going to take out the security. Yeah, so just let's be on the lookout for trading opportunities on lower time frame, right? So this is actually a commodity. So I just wanted to add it to the list. So it's not compulsory you trade everything. I don't trade everything. You can see of all the trades I called out last week, I was able to only get in on two. Sometimes I can only take one. Understand? So that's it, right? So just pick the ones you feel you trade them more and focus on that, and then everything is gonna work out well. Okay. So this is it, guys. This is all from me. I wish you an amazing trading week ahead. Bye bye, guys.